Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Warhammer Wednesday. I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet, and today I'm not in my office, I'm in the War Room, which is the place that I'm going to be filming a few more battle reports in coming time. And I'm going to show you my Warhammer collection. This is a show-off video, a showcase video if you want. The question, I guess, is, did I go too deep? Because some people think I've gone a bit mad, and I probably did. I've got a bit of a obsessive personality. I go really hard on stuff. I guess it's how I started making content, really. It was just kind of obsessing over magic. And I still do a little bit, but also this now. Anyway, I'm going to show you what I've got, the arms I've got, talk through some of the stuff I've been sent, and what my designs are for the future and plans and stuff like that. I'm not going to ramble too much in this intro. Let me know in the comment section below if there's any particular army you like or that you want to see in a battle report coming up. There should be a battle report on the channel next Wednesday. But yeah, let me know if there's something you want to see in particular on the channel. Is there something that I've done right or wrong? Is there something you like in particular? And do you think I've gone too fucking deep? Because I did go pretty deep. So this is the War Room. This table here is currently getting changed. Literally after this video, I'm putting a board on top of it, ready for playing tomorrow. And this is 2 years worth of collections of the Warhammer stuff. There's a bit more too, which I'll show you in a second. I'm going to put on screen now the date of the first ever episode of Warhammer Wednesday, which is around 2 years ago now. Maybe a little bit less during the beginnings of the pandemic. And, well, yeah, I've fallen head over heels in love with the hobby. And I sold a lot of magic cards, and it allowed me to buy probably too much Blood Angels, but we'll go into that more in a second. This is the beginning of my Blood Angels. I have around 17,000 points. It's kind of a little bit absurd. I went mad with getting the best deals I could on eBay very early on. The Magic player in me demanded that I got, you know, the best possible value at every possible turning, which led to me getting like duplicates. I own 3 Mephistons, for example. Yeah, Indomituses, start collecting boxes, small collections on eBay. It all got bought and painted red, and well, here we are. This Redemptor is my very first unit that a vehicle that I painted, and you can tell it's just not as good as the other stuff. This thing was actually bought painted already off of Troll Trader, which is a great resource for getting already painted stuff that you can't bother to paint. As like, for example, this guy here, I think was from Troll Trader, this Sanguinary Guard, where most of them were painted by me. You can tell the ones that have those bases there compared to the other bases there. See the difference? They're other ones. We've got loads of Assault Marines. I only own like 3 squads of actual Intercessors, where I've got 4 or 5 squads of Assault Intercessors. I've got Hammers that I got off eBay and painted up into Blood Angels. I've got the original Sergeants as well. And then I also kit bashed some Fist Sergeants, of course, and yada yada. I'm not going to bore you with every detail. Hammerfall Bunker, never going to see play. Up there we've got not a Thunderhawk, but a Storm Raven and a Drop Pod. Drop Pod was something that I've always wanted as a kid and never got. And that's a lot of what's happening with my collecting and building and painting, was getting things I never had as a kid. This thing, not painted by me. Magnus was painted by me. There's videos, are there videos showing them off on the channel? There'll be videos showing off on the channel very soon. This Bloodthirster needs painting. But back to the Blood Angels. Oh, actually no, before we go on, Sanguinor there, kit bashed, because I don't like the original Sanguinor model. I've got one for eBay, but I prefer this one. Kit bash that bad boy. And of course the Vindicator Assassin has to be up high because he's a sniper. I was a scrub when I kit bashed this, didn't know any of the rules, just didn't like the old model. Built it, you know, rule of cool. And the base is just too big. Womp womp. Anyway, so that's part of my Blood Angels. Then we've got more Blood Angels down here. We've got Leviathans, Whirlwinds. The only Land Speeder that I finished. I've got a few more that I haven't finished there in the cupboard. A Land Raider, because I always wanted one as a kid and never had one. My second Redemptor is Death Company, to go with Death Company. If you're looking for the lack of Death Company, they're up here. Tons of Sanguinary Guard, tons of Death Company. Death Company were my thing as a kid, because this is my childhood army as a kid, and these didn't exist, but I've fallen in love with these because they're just better. And there's Dante, by the way, Dante number 1. I've got 2 thanks to eBay. Yeah, so there's my next lot of Blood Angels. These guys are essentially Indomitus kitted gold Blade Guard here. I've done them in gold because of all the veterans in the Sanguinary Guard being in gold. Death Company Dread, and then a ton of stuff that I painted very early on. Very badly painted Terminators, very badly painted Hellblasters. And then as time's gone on, I think my Inceptors are still not up to my current standard, but they are much higher standard than those things over there that are fugly. And like I said, there's more. There's more Blood Angels. Like, here is a Golden Command Razorback that I painted before I knew any of the rules when I first got back into the hobby. That was going to be Tycho's Command Rhino, and now I haven't actually painted Tycho up. He's still in the cupboard unpainted. Trying to paint pretty much one of everything in the entire codex of Space Marines in Blood Angels, and it's a laborious task. There's so many fucking models. Got Sanguinor there, the original model. The only exclusive AOS model I've painted is this Bugman dude here, Bugman's grandson. Got an Inquisitor there and a type like that. This is obviously a Repulsor Executioner. A wonderfully cool looking model, just not very fun to resolve because there's so many different profiles. It's kind of annoying to keep track of. And then we've got some more here. just more. These are my stealth units. These are my forward deploying infiltrators. Here's a Dante that's not metal, so he's my travel Dante. Kit bashed and painted Sanguinary Priest. Some inserts I got off eBay that I didn't paint myself, and these that come on eBay with these cool. These are Incursed War suits with extra cabin stuff on them. I just touched them up when I got them off eBay and rebased them and stuff. And there's some tactical warriors I got off Troll Trader, so I need some up Firstborn, at least a few Firstborn, right? Is that all the Blood Angels I have on display? Yes, yeah. Niv doesn't count as Blood Angels. Let's move to another Imperial Force with the Sisters of Battle. These are my tournament army at the moment. I take these out to events. I'll be taking them to No Retreat Legends in Gibraltar with the SN Battle Reports team in a couple of weeks' time, actually. My first travel out of the country since COVID. Gonna go play some Warhammer 40k. This girl here is currently having a glue dry. That's why she's on her back. She's not on her back because she's drunk, I promise. This is Morven Val and the girls. I normally play the bone-coloured ones as Argent Shroud. And I play the purple as Bloody Rose. So fighty melee, advance and shoot heavy weapons. Honestly, they can all be the same thing. They can all be Argent Shroud. My argument is the purple is much like how the Death Company are a different colour. The purple shows a different part of it. My custom order, I call them the Order of the Faithful Dead. That's my like headcanon name. And these are the Repentant Chorus. This Candace and her squad. These are the girls that became Repentia because they sinned in the name of the Emperor or some shit. And then when they got they repented for their sins, they were given purple armor and shields and told to go and be like the melee vets. But they're never allowed to have the bone-coloured armor of their sisters again because they fell from grace, right? They're the Repentant Chorus. That's the headcanon for these girls here. Not had this for very long. I actually painted the majority of this in a 2-week period where I just took some time off from making some videos just to relax and paint, which I've done a few times in the last 2 years because it's a good way to unwind. After grinding hard at videos, I just take a couple of days off and I just hammer at painting. It's a very relaxing disconnect from the world, and that's how I managed to get 2,000 points of this tournament ready ahead of one of the Hellstorm events that I attended. But that's my sisters. I love them. I actually love this army. I think the model range is beautiful. I particularly like the Exorcist, even though I don't play it that much. Love the Immolator too. Lot of 3D printed melter guns in amongst here you might spot because they don't give you enough on the sprue. And then Morven Val, my god, is Morven Val both an incredibly cool model and just an incredibly cool unit to play with. She absolutely slaps in close combat and at range. And as a force multiplier, and she just looks so good as like a leading unit. There's a video on my channel if you want to see me paint and do the OSL and stuff on this beautiful Morven Val model that I've got here. There's a painting video on the channel. I'll link that in the cards. I guess one of the things to point out here is a patron who didn't want to be named sent me half of this. If you want to be named now, please put it in the comment section. But I believe you're one of the ones that didn't want to be named. They sent me, I've got one of these in the cupboard that hasn't been built or painted yet. And they sent me the other half of Piety and Paint, which had that, another Retributor squad, another Palatine, and some bits and bobs. So I got sent, and a Sister of Battle squad as well. They sent me that just as a thank you for the content that I made. Okay, over to the next army. This is Necrons. This is actually my second army in coming back to the hobby because, well, Indomitus kind of forced my hand. But also, I'm quite a big fan of centerpiece models, as you're going to see when we get to Chaos in a moment. And, well, this army has the best centerpiece models, right? It has the Silent King. I'm trying to get Shadow there. And the Void Dragon, which is beautiful. And I love the Doomsday Crawler thing as well. I've got 2 more of them in my pile of shame. Because my plan was always to play 3 of them. I just haven't got around to building them. But I love this army. I love the Luminor Zeras model as well. The centerpiece has really got me into it. Although I don't like the old Catan. So I have a kit-bashed Shard of the Nightbringer here. A bit too short, but I love him. There's a whole video on this army if you want to see it. Again in the cards. This is a Chronomancer. And then I made my own Technomancer or Chronomancer sort of Cryptek proxy here out of some of the evil undead skeleton boys. Which actually, this got criticised heavily. I had 3 different people in the comments on my videos just telling me my kit bashes were shit. Which is a bit mean. I mean, it's not my best kit bash, but that's a bit shitty. Anyway, it's not a particularly competitive army. This is the entirety of it. I've got 3 more Scarab bases in the cupboard, but this is everything. Painted up. I think I've got 5 Warriors or Immortals somewhere in a box as well from an eBay find. If I were to play this at 2,000 points and play Warrior spam, I would enjoy it. It's fun. I don't think it's that competitive, but Warhammer isn't always about being competitive. The Silent Kings are a very fun model to play with. The Katana are also very fun. And I love just the big gun. So I do want to get some Doomsday Arcs and also get my other these things printed up. And just have, 5, 6 Doomsday cannons would be a lot of fun, even if they are a little bit inconsistent. I also love the crawling, walking feel of the army. I've said this in a video before. I don't really like the floating arc style. That's why I haven't got any arcs yet. I haven't really picked up the things that I didn't think were as cool as this stuff. And then we come to my third army, which was the Custodes. They are pretty much half painted, as you can see here. My bikes, my tank, and 2 squads of Sisters of Silence are not painted. And to be honest, Trajan Valoris is not finished. I'm waiting for the new book to finish him and get really into it. It finishes some of the basing as well, like on that grav, palace grav there. I've also got a transport that's in storage at the moment because, well, it's just not very good, so I haven't gone into painting it up. I will do one day. I got into Custodes because they're even more elite versions of Marines. And also, the Telemon Dreadnought is probably one of the greatest models in 40k. I love it. This gun's a bit too far out. Let's move that gun there. There we go. Looks less derpy now. I still need to paint up my Storm Cannons, but I often just play as a Storm Cannon. This is a Lastris Accelerator, whatever they call it. But I love me some Dreadnoughts and some Terminators. They're my favourite things in all of 40k. Or were as a kid. I've grown to love demons now as well and big monsters. But this army is the Terminator.army, right? Probably up there with Deathguard in that respect. I can't wait for the new book. I really can't wait for the new book. There's a theme to the basing. All my Imperial stuff, the Bludgers and the Sisters up there, they're all in this sort of grey, Urban Decay sludge. Custodes, I decided to go for this, dilapidated palace, sort of destroyed convent, like a temple they're defending on a planet. And there's also a snow theme mixed in as well. So some of them are outside of the building in the snow, some of them are in the building, some of them are in the parts of the building that have roofs collapsed. And you get this cohesive sort of whole. I don't know what the fuck to do about this base here, because I put them on a too small a base to play in an event. And I want Custodes to be one of my tournament armies when the new book comes, because they just seem like such a easy to fucking transport, and B, a delight to play in terms of having so few models. I like having few models in tournaments and more models in casual play. There is my my bike captain. He's got a really cool base that I've hidden behind all these unpainted, currently project models. If I move some of this out of the way for a second. Are you ready for the reveal? Comment section. Oh, look at that basing. I'm really proud of that base. I think it looks cool. There's a little hole at the front of it in the snow, which you might be able to pick up in the camera. That it needs a little bit of plant matter over it to really make it pop. But he's got a very different looking bike to everyone else. And he's got a skull helmet too. Because he's like the unstoppable destroyer or the 10,000 heroes or whatever it ends up being. This bike is now slopped off because they're all magnetized and stuff. Ready to be transported to events. And then I'm going to jump ahead to my new army, the current project, which is basically 2,000 points of Orcs, and it's predominantly boys. Now, again, this is kind of similar to how Necrons are absolutely not this right now in tournament play, but I'm not really giving a shit about this. This is not a tournament army for me. I'm not going to take it to events. This is a fun, flavorful army. I'm taking a lot of time and care to paint. Like, my Gaz is bright yellow. He shouldn't be bright yellow. He should be black and white, but I don't give a shit. All my Orcs are going to be yellow. And I'm just going to play them as whatever faction I feel like at the time. Probably going to play predominantly Goths, maybe Death Skulls. I also kit bashed my own Beast Boss. I bought the actual Beast Boss model because I love it too. But this Beast Boss here. I actually had a patron donate some Orcs as well, who doesn't want to be named. And I had Stu, that Mr. Shy, a fantastic resource for painting. A generous dude and a lovely dude as well. I'm not just saying he sends you Warhammer. But that Mr. Shy is a good part of my community. He also sent me some Orcs. He sent me a lot of the old Gorka Morka boys. Which I'm trying to find. Here's one. These are the old metal Gorka Morka boys. You might have seen them in Midwinter Mini's recent retro unboxing. These are some of the original. Oh, hang on, no. These are sorry. They're not in the box that guy opens in the Midwinter Mini's video. They are the metal ones that are in the catalogue ready to be purchased, I believe. But yeah, Stu sent me these, saying I'll get more joy and love out of them, and I do love them. They remind me of being a kid and finding old metal models on car boot sales. Orcs have one of the coolest model ranges too. Like this dragster, which isn't quite finished, but I'm loving how the yellow looks. Really stands out against the black there. That's another thing that drew me to them. It's just how cool their vehicles are. And also playing squads of 30 boys, rolling 150 dice is very fun on TTS. Probably not so fun in physicality. Right then, we're over to the other shelving here. These are what is my Tyranids. These are what is, well, that's some bad English. These are my Tyranids at the moment. Got a Hive Tyrant, an Exocrine, 6 Hive Guard, 12 Gene Stealers, and a Swarm Lord that's unpainted. There's some Gargoyles, some Termagants, and Hormagaunts in my pile of shame, and that's it. I am going to flesh out Tyranids. It's one of the armies like Orcs that Or Orcs I had as a kid, but only like a handful. Tyranids I never had and desperately wanted. They're one of those factions that, as a kid, I loved. I actually think Chaos excites me more now than Nids. But I'm waiting for the new Nids book, and I'm trying to get my Chaos up to speed before then. But I've also slowed down dramatically. I've played a lot of Warhammer in the last year or two, but I've slowed down dramatically as I'm just not taking as much time off to paint them because I just can't really. I've got to make videos, right? So that's my Nids. Not really much to say. The Exocrine is falling apart. I've magnetized them badly. I fucking love Hiveguard. Very happy with how the shell on this Hive Titan has come out. The shades of blue. Yeah, looking forward to Genius not being shit. These are all just dry brushed and contrast painting because I was trying to get them into a scheme that I could do easily and reliably. So that's my Nids. Now we have some Chaos. By Chaos I mean Dark Angels. So there's Bellicor, a model that I absolutely loved painting. I had to get hold of Bellicor when I saw him. And he's part of the reason I love my demons so much. This is just 1,000 points of Death Watch. I've started painting some Plasma Inceptors and stuff to make some Green Wing, and I'm going to get some Raven Wing eventually so I can get full Dark Angels force. Dark Angels being my other Space Marine chapter as a kid because I think my brother once bought me the Dark Angel supplement thinking it was the thing I collect and I didn't, but there you go. So I've always had a few Dark Angel models knocking around in a small book. So it's only natural that they become my other Space Marine faction now as an adult. And also they play so differently to Blood Angels and they've got so much play to them. You know, the Raven Wing, Death Wing and the Green Wing. It makes them rather unique. And then to the right here is part of the Chaos, the Word Bearers. Let's talk about Word Bearers for a second. There's a load of them down here, including a Dreadnought, another Dreadnought, a Venerable, a Contemptor, a load of Raptors. There's some Scarab Terminators for the 1,000 Sons on the left there, ignore those. And then a load of Cultists. And then over here, we've also got more Word Bearers. We've got Demon Engines, Rhinos, and a ton of troops. This is all gifted to me by that Mr. Shy. Look, I'm just going to shout him out again. He's been incredibly generous. He said he wanted to see these go to a good home where they'll get seen on battle reports and online, and hopefully ignite other people's passion for Chaos and the Word Bearers. These are the faction that you want in Chaos if you're going to summon demons, by the way. There's some more Terminators here. So they will be seen in the battle report soon-ish. Although that said, I might wait to show them on the channel probably until after we've got the CSM book. Because at the moment, their faction trait is to reroll morale, and that's it. And that fucking sucks. Okay, next up we got the Deathguard. I painted 30 in a batch over the course of a couple of nights. 30 Plague Marines to a relatively high standard, I think. They're not perfect. They're not like heavily edge highlighted, but there's all detail picked out. They've all been washed and stuff, and to make them look groggy. I painted them after I painted Militarium, which is another model that I fucking love. And they've got 2 Plague Bush Crawlers down there, one of which I painted. This one, which is actually not very well painted, to be honest. It's a very quick jobby. And one got online. You can tell the difference in green. Whoopsie. Demon Prince and some Terminators. 5 Blight Lords. 3 Blight Lords. No, 3 Death Shroud, 5 Blight Lords, and some more Marines. You see them dotted around different shelves. There's so many of them. And now Plague Marines are shit, unfortunately. But I do love Deathguard. I love the PBCs. I love their solid tanking ability. Their characters, they've got some of the most interesting and fun characters in the game in terms of their mechanics and stuff. Tons of which are in the cupboard, not painted up. Love me some Deathguard, love souping, and also they don't lose much in souping. So I think playing them with demons is actually quite fun, if not the most competitive thing in the world. And Militarium was just a thing I had to paint. As soon as I saw him, I was like, this model is so cool. Next to these guys, you see the Lord of Change, Big Bird, the yellow Big Bird. I painted him yellow, like Big Bird from Sesame Street, right? And there are also 6 Screamers there, which are my Marine Hunters. Let's talk about demons a bit more. I've got some more down here with some more Word Bearers, sorry, from Stu. He sent me a lot of Word Bearers. There's a Rakdos there, which is also a video on the channel if you want to see paint Rakdos. He doubles up as a Bloodthirster, I guess. I've got a Creature Caster, essentially Great Unclean One. Great Unclean One there, which has got me into demons. Great Unclean One is amazing. What a fucking model. And then we've got some Nurglings down here. Some of them are actually on the bench in my office where I paint. I've got a lot of them. I've done them like Nurglings. Let me just move this guy out of the way. Done them like Nurglings. I'm sorry, I'm saying Nurglings. They are Nurglings. I've done them like Pikmin, sorry. Multicoloured. As you can see, I've started these with a bit of spraying there. These are all of my Nurglings are gonna be like that, and I probably need like 4, 5, 6 squads of them. So yeah, that's just making a lot of work for myself. And then of course I've got more demons in the form of the Primarchs. They don't count as demons in the literal sense of the Codex, but I play them alongside them. I've already showed Magnus off as well. I just like playing big demon, big daddy Hero Hammer. I'm not gonna lie to you. I enjoy having a big old monster that someone's got to deal with. Some people don't like that. I know some people don't like Hero Hammer and think it's lame. Personally, I think it's the fucking coolest. I love me some big demons. And that's why, like, the next battle report, you're going to see me playing just proper Hero Hammer. Equips is going to be on Custodes, I'm going to be on Demons. And yeah, I'm gonna Hero Hammer the shit out of it. A quick editor's note there. I got so distracted about talking about Hero Hammer and how much I love Big Daddy hero characters. I totally and utterly fucking blanked on showing off the other Thousand Sons. You saw some unpainted Scarab Terminators on a lower shelf. I didn't show off Arrow Man, and what I think is a beautifully painted Leviathan Dreadnought that you can see on screen now. If you go over to my Instagram, you can follow me and see all of this stuff as well. I just blanked. Thousand Sons are one of my preferred armies, so I was actually quite enjoying them as my competitive army before I got into Sisters, and I probably will hopefully play them at some events in the future as well. I'm just a fucking dum-dum, so I apologise for that. Anyway, back to the little showcase. And then lastly, let's have a look inside my cupboard. I've got a lot of Drukhari that I've got off eBay. Haven't painted them. Haven't even started painting them. There's over 1,000 points of Drukhari here. If you like, there's a Kronos there, and a Raider, and some Vipers, and Vipers in boxes. I will do one day. I hated them when I came back to the hobby, but the more I've played against them, the more I do think their playstyle is interesting, the aggressiveness of their playstyle. So I did want to have the army available for battle reports. I want to have one of every army if I can help it, right? And I want to have like all the playstyles covered, essentially. There's a lot of Deathguard characters there that have only been like lightly sprayed and need to get finished. And then there's just like, you start to see just random stuff. There's a tray down here, a bit dark, but there's some Paragon warsuits in there and some more Sisters of Battle. And then we've got up here just other things I haven't finished. Things I've gotten off eBay or I've started enthusiastically and then never finished. Librarian Dread not finished. 4 more Inceptors not finished. You know, it's like a pile of shame, right? You pick things up, and I pick up a lot of second-hand models because it's just a lot cheaper than buying them in the box. And then you end up not getting them all painted. This is kind of the reveal of my pile of shame, but a lot of my pile of shame is built. I have this thing where I just don't like having models unbuilt. If they're cellophane wrapped and in the corner and I have to see them in the box, fine. If the box has been opened, the model needs to be built. And it makes me feel a bit ill if it's not. Weird anxiety. I don't know where it comes from, but it's just how I am, I guess. So that's my my dive into madness, I guess. There is a bit more, but it's in the attic. When we moved, I just put it straight into the attic. I got some very cheap Whirlwinds and Predators on eBay and stuff. That's all currently, like I said, in the attic. So let me know, did I go too deep? Would you have gone just as deep if you had some spare cash from selling some legacy staples? My dog is ready for dinner, so I should go now. Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be back next week with the battle report. Thanks for watching, smash that like button, and I'll see you all soon. Ta-ta for now.